let's talk about a huge, powerful resource that's pretty much all around us, but it's often hidden in plain sight. It's held by our governments, it's paid for by our taxes, and honestly, it has the power to totally reshape our economy and even our day-to-day lives. So, to kick things off, let's just look at a number that shows you how big this opportunity really is.
Yep, that's right. 197 times billion euros. That's what experts think the annual market size of open data could be in Europe. And this isn't some pie-in-the-sky number for the distant future. This is a tangible value we could be unlocking, like right now. So, what exactly is this stuff?
So what do you think? What is Europe's most valuable but hidden resource? You might be thinking about oil or natural gas or something like that. But nope, the answer is data. More specifically, it's the absolutely massive amounts of information that our public sector collects every single day.
Okay, so to really understand just how valuable this is, we first need to get on the same page about what we're even talking about. So what exactly is open data?
It's actually a really simple idea. Open data is just information that's been collected and paid for by the public sector, and then made totally free for anyone, and I mean anyone, to access, use, and share without any restrictions. The most important part here is that it's already been paid for with our tax money, so the idea is to treat it like a public good, like roads or bridges.
And the variety of data we're talking about here is just staggering. This isn't just a bunch of boring spreadsheets. This is everything from geospatial data that literally maps our world, to weather data for forecasts, real-time traffic info, and super important population statistics that help us understand, well, ourselves.
Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, right? But how does this kind of abstract idea of data actually affect you? Well, let's take a look at how this information creates real, measurable value in our actual daily lives.
Take a look at this number, 730 million. That's a lot of hours. But what on earth does it represent?
That's the estimated time that commuters all across Europe could save every single year. How? Well, think about the navigation apps on your phone. The ones that magically reroute you around a sudden traffic jam. A lot of those apps are powered by public data on transportation and real-time traffic flow that's been made freely available. That's a direct benefit we can all feel.
And, the impact goes way, way beyond just convenience. Let's look at a much more profound number, 14,000.
This is the potential number of lives that could be saved every year in Europe. When apps can use open data to find and send first responders to cardiac arrest patients, even just a little bit faster, survival rates can go up dramatically. So this isn't just about saving time anymore, this is literally about saving lives.
And the benefits just keep rolling in. Open data is a super powerful tool for protecting the environment. It can help power apps that cut our energy bills. It lets us figure out the absolute best place to put solar panels. It helps us monitor biodiversity and stop illegal fishing. And it can even give us real-time data on air pollution. It's a game changer.
All right, so let's zoom in a bit and make this even more concrete. Let's look at a specific country to see this potential in action. Sweden is a really fascinating case study of this huge, but still mostly untapped economic opportunity. So a report from the Swedish government estimates that if they fully opened up their most valuable data, it could generate somewhere between 10 and 21 billion Swedish kroner, that's roughly 1 to 2 billion euros, every single year. The potential gains are just massive across all sorts of industries, like tech, construction, and finance.
But, and this is a big but, that very same report points out that while Sweden has amazing high-quality data, it's actually falling behind its neighbors like Denmark, Norway, and Finland when it comes to making that data open for people to use. So the treasure is right there, but it's still locked up in a chest.
So what's stopping this from happening? What's the holdup? And what's the path forward? Well, it really all comes down to a fundamental change in how we think about public information.
See, the core problem is this old model where public agencies actually charge money for data access. They see it as a way to make revenue, right? But what it really does is create a huge barrier. High costs lock out the startups, the researchers, the small businesses, the very people who could come up with amazing new ideas. The new model treats data like public infrastructure. It's paid for by our taxes and given away for free, which sparks growth everywhere, not just inside one government agency.
This is really about moving away from a pay-per-use system to a tax-funded one. Just think about it like our roads. We don't pay a toll every single time we drive down a new street, do we? No, we all chip in through taxes because we understand that roads are a shared public good. The exact same logic applies to data.
And the good news is the path forward is actually pretty clear. It's already laid out by the EU's Open Data Directive. Step 1, governments have to figure out which data sets are the most valuable. Step 2, make them free. Step 3, and this one is super important for developers, is to provide the data in modern, easy-to-use formats through things called APIs. And finally, you have to actively support the innovators who are going to build the next generation of amazing services on top of all this data.
When you boil it all down, it comes back to one simple, powerful idea. This data was created for the public, and it was paid for by the public. It belongs to us. So the real question we should all be asking ourselves is, once we finally unlock it all, what incredible, life-saving, world-changing ideas are we going to come up with next?